raised the price of its Prime membership by 16.8%, while it increased its profits by 75% to a record-breaking $35 billion. And, by the way, managed to avoid paying $5.2 billion in taxes.
Finally, some good news. Many developments are finally being made on the fourth stimulus check, everybody, and Senate Democrat Manchin is now ready to finalize a deal on a new version of President Biden's Build Back Better bill. Nancy Pelosi says that they will reach an agreement very soon, and so everyone make sure to watch until the end of this video to learn all the details of Biden's legislative agenda. You definitely don't want to miss out on this very important stimulus check information. And according to White House officials, Senate Democrat Manchin has just told a group of climate activists and energy executives that he is ready to support a new version of President Biden's Build Back Better agenda with some tweaks. Manchin said that he is open to supporting revised Build Back Better legislation narrowly tailored to address three issues, which are climate change, prescription prices, and deficit reduction. Manchin made the comments in a private closed-door meeting indicating that he is serious about returning to the table before a much smaller version of Biden's original $3.5 trillion proposal. Manchin and Sinema had long expressed reservations about Biden's agenda. But with the West Virginia senator temporarily caused a pause in negotiations, he announced on Fox News that he did not want to support a proposed legislation. But according to Axios, everybody, it has been reported that Manchin is finally going to take some action. He's changing his mind, and Manchin has outlined a deal, including roughly $500 billion for climate and $1 trillion in new revenue during informal talks. As of right now, Biden has not indicated any support for universal preschool or any of the other care economy proposals that were included in President Biden's initial human infrastructure plan. Manchin is also reportedly insisting on reducing the deficit with at least half of the revenue from new corporate taxes, as well as the estimated savings from allowing Medicare to directly negotiate the cost of prescriptions. Any skinnier Build Back Better bill is going to face hurdles, including potential opposition from Sinema and reluctance on the part of progressive Democrats to vote for a smaller bill. But there are several ways negotiations could go from here. Earlier this month, Manchin effectively put a new offer on the table. He said he's willing to consider legislation that focuses on prescriptions, tax reforms, and climate investments as long as half the revenue raises is targeted to pay down the debt. If Manchin is very serious about this, it's possible the Democrats could come together on a plan that counters the deficit and funds a smaller slate of new policies. Pramila Jayapal, the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, has already said that she is willing to engage in negotiations on this proposal, though she wants specifics before moving forward. Plus, Ron Wyden also echoed his support. He told reporters, "I think we can work with Manchin's plan." Elizabeth Warren also told reporters this week that we need to get together on this part, and we need to agree on passing it. If we have a lot of things we need to do before the midterm. Everybody tell me in the comments down below, will President Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and all the Democrats and Republicans get this bill sent out?
Trucks that are moving freight throughout the United States of America. They said the fact that they can't get these new generation trucks out the door because of the semiconductor shortage means that it's even impacting the cost of freight of every product. So I implore my colleagues to come to the floor and support sending the bill back to the House, telling them that we want to go to conference and get into conference as soon as possible. Those who want to delay this are just delaying the United States in our competition with the world in producing and manufacturing great products. If you don't have the best chips, if you don't have the manufacturing, you're not going to lead. We already know that in 2021 we needed 1.2 trillion chips per year. 2031, that is going to be 2 trillion chips per year. So we know that this shortage is going to continue far into the future unless we act. Why is this so important? Obviously, there are sectors like energy, transportation, high-tech, communications, national security. They all depend on us acting. But believe it or not, there are companies all throughout the United States right now who are looking at this issue on supply chain and saying, are we going to make moves to take the supply chain back into the United States right now? I'm saying they are making these decisions this month. They are making these decisions next month. But there's some here who think that we can dilly-dally along and maybe take months and months and months to reconcile these two bills. They are absolutely wrong. I guarantee you, the Europeans are not waiting. The Europeans have decided they are going to fund this investment. They're going to continue to move faster than the United States of America to decide to do the next level investment in semiconductors.
$4,000 in new stimulus money is going to be given out to people who will qualify for the stimulus payments. Remember, if you qualify for this, you could be getting $4,000. So here's some good news. The government has announced that millions of dollars are available to help people who missed out on receiving any federal stimulus checks in 2021. The one-time payment is part of the excluded New Jerseyans Fund. New Jersey's governor set aside $40 million in federal money to be used to help families who did not qualify for the economic stimulus checks that the federal government sent out last year. The money will especially be helpful to workers in the state of New Jersey. Many were essential workers like janitors and kitchen staff who lost jobs during lockdown. And everybody, according to state officials, a one-time direct cash benefit. This means a household can receive $4,000. It's pretty much something that everybody wants to see. More stimulus payments going to those in need. Who exactly is eligible to receive this additional relief? Well, you do have to take action to claim this extra stimulus money. The application deadline has been extended from last year. However, applications may close sooner if funds are exhausted before the deadline.
Meanwhile, the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, became $81 billion richer during the pandemic and is now worth some $186 billion. That is his worth. More corporate greed. The price of beef is up 32%. Price of chicken is up 20%. And the price of pork is up 13%. Meanwhile, Tyson Foods, a major producer of chicken, beef, and hot dogs, increased its profits by 140% last quarter to $1.1 billion and gave its CEO a 22% pay raise last year to $14 million. Meanwhile, the owner of the company, John Tyson, nearly doubled his wealth during the pandemic and is now worth some $3 billion. You want more corporate greed? Here it is. We are looking at outrageously high prices for prescription drugs, and in fact, we pay by far the highest